Hey, what's going on, guys? Happy Friday. Make sure I got my mic this time, because last time I did a whole 30 minutes without one. Okay, anyway, happy Friday. Welcome to the stream. This is Obe TA. But yeah, last time started off a little bit rough, but we got the mic. Sound should be good. Let me turn this up a little bit.
Nice.
we should be good to go, man. Yeah, happy Friday. Not really a whole lot going on in the markets right now, but still want to take a look at it, right? It's not that there's never anything going on, it's just sometimes are more exciting than others. But you should always be monitoring it, keeping an eye out for different little signs going on. And if there's nothing really showing on the daily timescales or the weeklies, you can move it down to lower points to try and see maybe where it'll give, where it'll break. So that's what we're going to do here. All right. Everything kind of in the red today. There were a few performers, but most things down like 1% to 3%. Nothing crazy. It's kind of a day of nothing. So, but we're going to take a look. Even on the days that nothing is happening, we're going to take a look at this kind of stuff, all right?
Okay!
So, yeah. Let's take a look at Bitcoin, all right? Let's just get right into it. Big Daddy Bitcoin, it's about to close its candle in about 23 minutes. Currently down 1%, 1.1%, not really doing anything, but, you know, we want to zoom in and take a look at the level it's at now. And we want to take a look at the level it got down to throughout the day. Okay, so the low is about $62,300 on the dot. So we just kind of move it left. I mean, it got down. It didn't even get down to your peak back here from March 14th. All right, so still holding above. Currently sitting above the peak back here from April 13th. So highest candle close at that time. So you're above the candle closes back here from April 13th, April 14th, which up until this most recent run was your all-time high. And that was that spot we were trying to get past. So above the candle close, it's fine. Yeah, you're below the all-time high wick there back from April, the April all-time high. Don't want to get you confused, but as long as you stay above the candle close here, I mean, let me say this. Even if you go below the candle close and you close below, whatever, there is just stupid amounts of support beneath you, okay? And really, as long as you make a higher low than this little swing that you've got right here, back from, like late September, as long as at some point during all of this support, you make a higher low, it's fine, okay? And as you can see, you're just in this channel. And let me redraw it for you so you can kind of see it real time here. But one of the tools in TradingView that I really like. But yeah, set it up. You want it to be touching at least 3 spots in order for it to be a valid trend line. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a valid demand line. That's the bottom line. And then the top line is going to be your supply line. And we've got 1, 2, 3, right? So just in this kind of nice channel, sort of towards the top of it. But there's just so much support. All of these peaks, we've been talking about this, but all of these peaks back here are going to act as support on the way down. On the RSI, currently sitting at about 58. You are showing, and this is real, and this is something to be aware of. But, Class A bearish divergence here. Okay. So, that is real, and you have it on the RSI here as well, right? So, showing reversal signals, but it's so, the asset itself is so bullish, Bitcoin, that even stuff like this, bearish indicators, while you want to keep an eye on it, there's no technical damage done to this thing really until it gets below 58,200. Even then, this peak back here from September 7th, as long as you catch that as some support, you're fine. Right now you're above all of the support. On the way up, you had to break through points of resistance, right? So it was always a question of, well, if it gets above this, gets above that. Right now, everything is below you, okay? So you've got Fibonacci or levels that line up with historical levels of support. The 618 lines up almost perfectly with this peak here for September 7th. So and then you have all of this consolidation that happened from October 22nd until pretty recently. But So tons of support going down. It's going to be very hard for bears to push this through. And even if it got all the way down here, it would just come up, off the trend line? All right, so way above the 200-day moving average. Technically, Bitcoin is fine. Okay. So anything as far as candle closes go, nothing too alarming. Again, you're holding above the highest candle close back here from April 13th, April 12th. Totally fine. So yeah, and you're kind of just in a nice little channel going on here. So let's move it to the weekly. See if we see anything on the weekly. Still the highest body ever as far as a weekly candle is concerned for Bitcoin, so that's fine. You are starting to shift perhaps towards some negative momentum. You see how the green is starting to fall off here, really for the first time since late September. Okay, so something to again be aware of. If you were to close right now, you've got about 2 days and 1 hour for this candle to close. You'd be painting somewhat of a shooting star up here. Maybe a bearish confirmation candle, but again, I mean, just take a look as far as your lows go, right? So this sell-off here, this low, you would have to come down and make a lower low than this to do any technical damage. So again, as long as you come down and you pivot above about 43,000, okay, that would just keep the trend going. Now, this is a much longer time frame, of course, but again, just to give you some peace of mind when it comes to the overall trend or the overall health of Bitcoin. You have a lot of room to go down before we start getting worried. And really, at that point, you would break the trend line, break levels of support. So then we might be like, okay, keep an eye on this thing. But really, I mean, even breaking all of this support back here would be a little bit concerning, I guess. But even if you broke all of that, you have these levels down here where Bitcoin would still be fine as long as it stayed above and started making a higher low. Okay, as far as the long term goes, as far as into months, throughout the rest of the year and into the early 2022. So, yo, Keith, what's up, dude? Appreciate you tuning in, man.
My man.
I know you're working right now. Don't be driving and messaging in here. But welcome, dude.
Nice.
So yeah, let's move it. Since there's not too much going on the daily, let's take a look here at the 4 hour. All right, so 4 hour actually kind of interesting. And why is it interesting? Well, you had a bullish engulfing candle on the prior candle close here. So you've got 60 minutes to close out your most recent one, but the one before that was a bullish engulfing candle. You are also showing what happened to my RSI. Hang on a sec. My RSI disappeared. Okay, it's okay for now. What are we looking at though? Right, if you're starting to pivot here and make a higher low on the 4 hour, you're showing hidden bullish divergence. All right, so, not much going on the daily. Again, weekly in context, when you zoom out, looks fine. And then on the shorter terms, the 4 hour here, you seem to be having some continuation stuff going on, supporting Bitcoin, right? There's no bearish divergence or anything like that on the 4 hour. Yeah, you have it on the daily, but could be very weak and just kind of chop around these levels of support back here before running up. Really, there's so much strength between 58,000 and 61,830. It's just a very strong zone. All right, so keep an eye out. If you break that, then maybe start to get a little bit worried, but what did I just say? Even then, you have this level here, and you would make a higher low potentially from this area back in September. So go be totally fine. Nothing technically bad, down 1%, who cares? And remember what Bitcoin always does, right? Not what it always does, but what we see it do a lot. Okay? On it after it runs, if it makes runs, retraces 50% a lot of the time, right? So you know, we keep that in mind, throw Fibonacci from this to this top, 50% would put it right around this peak back here from September 6th. And you would most likely see it come down and respect the trend line, right? Or if we size it up perfectly where they intersect like that, something like that, right? Before going to higher prices, whatever it shows. But as long as you make a higher low than September back here, it's fine. All right.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, so again, Bitcoin showing continuation. It's been so bullish lately. This Class A bearish divergence might do nothing. Let me try and get my RSI back here real quick. Yeah, there it is. All right. Don't know why. Don't know what happened to it. I must have clicked something, but whatever, man. Let's keep pushing. So that's Bitcoin. We can move to the hourly. All right, let's really test the health of Bitcoin right now. All right, the hourly showing Class A bullish divergence. So that should move into the 4-hour, which should push the hidden bullish divergence that we saw in the 4-hour. All right, you've got a low here, and then it sold off a little more, and now you have a higher low, right? And on the RSI, kind of Class C divergence, but bullish divergence on the RSI, Class A on the 1-hour for the MACD. Okay, so the shorter time frames showing strength for Bitcoin, which would hope to move into the daily and present the case that there's weakness in the selling, especially at these high levels of support. Okay, so nothing to worry about here.
Money.
All right, cool. So let's go ahead, take a look at Ethereum here. Ethereum also still up around its all-time highs. And remember how positive momentum was just kind of waning all the way up. You have gone negative. You've gone red for the first time. I mean, building red for the first time since September 28th. So, you know, it's okay. And I mean, look, it's been going down like this pretty consistently. And I mean, where's the selling? Right? You would expect maybe that it would be selling off a little bit more dramatic, right? It's gotten up to the top and then just started going a little bit sideways. So, again, nothing technically bad about it. You're still above the peak back here from May 12th, earlier this year in 2021. So could come down, test that. Or if you break below that, then you're going to $4,000. All right, which would be another major area of support. We throw a Fibonacci line on that. And let me see. I want to see if it lines up with anything here. They'll be right at the 382, so a shallow retrace, but a retrace nonetheless. 382 to the 618 is considered like the golden retrace zone. Common area to see retrace, especially at levels of historical support, like you're seeing from this peak at 4,000. Plus 4,000 just being a very psychological number. You know, if it were to ever sell off and break below this point, I mean, I would definitely expect to see some support there. Hopefully at that point, the momentum would be a little bit past here to paint some maybe hidden bullish divergence, a continuation to the upside. But as of right now, let me see where, I thought I remembered this being set up as like an ABCD. Yeah, I mean, I know that is. All right, I mean, the 1618 was right here. So it's stalling out at the pattern completion zone of the bearish ABCD. But, I mean, there's no violent price action. Down 1%, down 2%. Who cares, man? You're still up at all-time highs. Everything is beneath you. Ethereum is a king. So be respectful when you're talking about royalty, all right? So it's fine. Totally fine. All right? Nothing on the daily implying any kind of edge or anything right now. The weekly, I mean, still hasn't gone negative as far as momentum. Barely, not even really overbought on the RSI, maybe barely. Something to keep in mind. This is something you can do with the RSI lines too. You can actually draw out trend lines for the RSI, and you'll notice a lot of times that it will be respected, right? Or if it breaks, that's a sign that the asset is about to move or has moved or has broken out. That is a form of confirmation breakout, just like the trend lines on price. Now, I would say that that's a little more important, but you can definitely monitor this. to gauge areas that the buying momentum might slow down. Okay, but if this trend line is any indication, then really you've got some room for buying before it stops. So yeah, weekly's fine, not overbought, which is good when you're up at all-time highs, because that's where you'd expect to see things overbought, and if it's not, it still has room to go. So you did have the breakout, the confirmation, and you're still above it. Remember the 1, 2, 3 step thing we always talk about? You're above it. It looks totally fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're working on your 5th straight week of positive momentum on Ethereum. Again, daily, not really showing too much. So let's move to the 4 hour, see if we can get anything locally here. Little bit of a double bottom kind of thing going on. Any kind of, let me see if we got any kind of divergence here. No, not really. It's kind of just bouncing along. You definitely had, nope, never mind. I was going to say, no Class A divergence on the RSI. Yeah, dude, not much going on today, right? Nothing bad. Nothing good, but I mean, nothing bad is kind of good in its own way. All right, all-time highs for assets. You expect that profit taking occurs when selling is super weak at these levels. That's just a testament to people just don't really know what to do, right? They're not thinking of Ethereum at 4,653 as being the top or being overvalued, so they're selling it en masse to take their profits because they think that, you know, it's overextended or past its actual value. It's not. All right, people think, okay, yeah, I mean, I think $4,653. I don't really know. It's at all-time high, so I don't know if I really want to buy anymore. But at the same time, I definitely don't want to sell it. You know what I mean? Which is good. I mean, that's good for an asset. If people aren't sure if they want to sell it or not, and it's, you know, as renowned as something like Ethereum or Bitcoin at these levels, these all-time high levels, good.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
So yeah, Ethereum, we can even move it over to the 12 hour, right? On the 12 hour, you could be potentially making some hidden bullish divergence, right? You need to start pivoting back up now and start to show a move back towards positive momentum. But I mean, look, right? So on the 12 hour, you've had more negative momentum, more selling coming in, and yet you still haven't gotten it back down to this $4,381 level from earlier this month, 5 days ago or so. So there's selling momentum coming in the 12 hours, more significant than, I don't want to say more significant than the 4 hour, but more of an indication towards the daily than the 4 hour would be, and you're potentially showing continuation. So that's totally fine, man. And if it bleeds into the daily here, yeah, you might get a little red blip before just starting to build positive momentum again. Okay. So everything fine with Ethereum too. Actually, if we take a look at Ethereum to Bitcoin, Ethereum actually looks poised to outperform Bitcoin. We move it over to the weekly here. I mean, look, right? You've got weekly hidden bullish divergence going on. You've got a lower low on the MACD, higher low going on the on price, and you even had it on the RSI. So you've got hidden bullish divergence on the RSI, on the MACD, on the weekly for Ethereum, showing somewhat of like a not a flag really, kind of a pennant, kind of a bull pennant, but certainly a bull flag, bull pennant type structure, which is a bullish signal. And if that's any indication, the measured move would just be the size of the pole. I mean, and that is a big pole, man. That's what she said, right? But dude, yeah, I mean, if there's any indication, the measure move will put you up around 13. I believe that's Satoshi's, about 1.3 Bitcoin to 1 Ethereum. But stuff like this just means that Ethereum, when it's showing bullish signals like this, continuation to the upside, this is Ethereum's performance against Bitcoin. So it's gauging that Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin in the near future, and honestly on something like this with the weekly into the further weeks going out. So that is showing that Ethereum most likely will gain more percentage-wise than Bitcoin in the coming weeks, months, whatever. So take that as you will, but that's something you can do with the coin to Bitcoin pairs. And it'll tell you if those are looking good, it'll give an indication as to whether or not they will overperform or outperform Bitcoin in either whatever time frame you choose, the weekly, the daily, whatever. So Ethereum seems to be showing that. So personally, I'll probably be allocating a little bit of Bitcoin into Ethereum just because try and take advantage of the overperformance, right? Want to make as much money as possible in a smart way. But with signs like that, yeah, why not? I think Ethereum has proven itself up to this point, right? Been around since the beginning. It was always that Bitcoin and I remember Litecoin was like the number 3 at the time back in 2017 that's when I started getting involved in it. But yeah, it has stood the test of time, and not only that, has performed and grown and yeah, done its thing, man. All right, so let's take a look at total, since everything seems to be, oh my god, selling off at $2.806 trillion. Again, kind of an indecision candle going on. 3 minutes until the daily candle closes, so probably just going to paint an indecision candle, right? Which is exactly what that is, indecision. Yeah, it's showing some Class A. Well, not even really. You count this little island here, kind of wiped that out. So Class A kind of wiped out. Barely on the RSI. It's on the daily. Let's take a look and see if there's anything going on with the weekly. Positive momentum is just building. Just started to enter overbought territory a little bit. But, I mean, as you can see, this thing gets up to 93 sometimes, right? It's not weird for it to get up to 80. Does it all the time, right? Looking left. So, looking fine to me as well. Got support up here at $2.5 trillion. So, just above everything. All right, looks fine. And this may be, let me see if we have an ABCD going on with this. I don't think this is not deep enough. I mean, 1618. Yeah, so it makes sense for these things to be stalling out, right? They're at their 1618 fib extensions of it. This looks similar to Ethereum, but you know, they're at their 1618. Ethereum is the GOAT. Nice. Yes, sir, dude. Yeah, I'm a big Ethereum guy, man. I've had it for a while. Seems solid. Metallic's a little strange, but aren't most geniuses?
Are you sure about that?
Pretty sure. But yeah, so total market cap, weekly, you're still at all-time highs. Body candle, all-time highs. So see if the 4 hour is showing anything. Oh my god, can you believe it? Is that hidden bullish divergence? Kind of. It's, yeah, I mean, I would give it to it. Close enough here. All right. Higher low, if it can continue to pivot, but nothing signaling exhaustion of buying of the crypto market. Zilliqa and Toast, T-O-S-T. I mean, I will take a look at it, dude. Absolutely.
Okay.
Put it on the list. Actually, no. Let's take a look at Zilliqa now. Let's do that now. All right. So, taking a look at Zilliqa here. I don't know what they do necessarily, but what I can say is that they look very similar to a lot of altcoins, to most altcoins. Technically, they've got this kind of cup with handle structure going on. We've been talking about this, you know, the last couple weeks. They've got these cup with handle structures starting to show. Some of them have played out, like Litecoin, for example. Right, Litecoin came up and broke its neckline of the cup and handle. Still above it. One of the few ones actually still above it. But yeah, looks similar to structure that Litecoin was showing, which is good, right? Because we're seeing those play out, and these are the ones that you want to look for, right? Zilliqa and Filecoin, those guys showing the structures but just haven't played out yet. But the oscillators are almost identical to ones that have played out, right? We've got the bullish convergence going on with lower levels on the MACD, or higher lows on the MACD, higher lows on the RSI. So, I mean, I would not be surprised at all to see Zilliqa break that neckline at about 13 cents, currently at 10 cents. Weekly looks like everything else, and then the daily here starting to build negative momentum below the 200-day moving average, seemingly holding on to this peak back here from December 25th of 2020. All right, so that's actually pretty far back. Also regarded as support here back in February earlier of this year. So you're holding on to that level right now. So you have a couple other areas that could also hold a support. And really, if we want to take let's try and find some fib levels. So it's at the 50% retrace at historical support. So it's a strong level to hold. I don't really think the 618 lines up. Yeah, it lines up with this peak here from July 2nd. So, yeah, man, you want to hold this. You want Bitcoin to start doing its thing and reversing, continue to go up. If Bitcoin just continues to sell off and break through those levels of support, then the altcoins will not perform and they'll fall through their levels of support and just go to these lower levels down here, like 7 cents, stuff like that. But again, the weekly looks good. The daily here, as long as you make a higher low than this point back here from October 19th at around 9.08 cents, you'll be starting to develop some hidden bullish divergence. So again, need Bitcoin to start performing, but again, we've been talking, the weekly looking good. You do want to stay, notice how the weekly here is trying to, got below it for a sec. And again, there's 2 days to close on the weekly, but you're back above this point, this high from December 21st. So that's good. I would want you to stay above that, because if you fall below it, you're most likely coming down here to like 7.4 cents, which could be fine too. That could be an area to look to get in, because then you have this level of consolidation. That was at the 618, if I'm not mistaken. In between the 786 and the 618, so not really a Fibonacci level, but want to hold this point. All right, but it won't hold it if Bitcoin starts dumping, so not a time to buy it necessarily, depending on your term. If you want to go long term on it, could be okay. Again, I really like the weekly here, but also keep in mind that the momentum is starting to shift. So I want to take a look here, see what look at this, right? If we compare Litecoin's cup with handle structure and its oscillators, its momentum, right? Its positive momentum has just continued to build, and it's holding above the neckline. Zilliqa is starting to wane a little bit, right? It's not continuing up. It hasn't broken the neckline. So it's not a confirmed cup with handle structure until it breaks the neckline, stays above it, and confirms the neckline as support. So while it's showing similarities to other assets that have done that, it's also showing differences to assets that have done that. So keep an eye on it. All right. Would I take a position on it right now? No. I would want this daily hidden divergence start playing out. See if the 4-hour helps you out at all. No, nothing on the 4-hour, below the 200-day moving average on the 4-hour actually. No Class A bullish divergence or anything, so it's kind of iffy, man. Kind of iffy. But we will see. We'll just watch it over the next couple of days, as well as a lot of other altcoins that are showing this kind of structure, and see how it does. Again, if you break below 10 cents, honestly, you don't want to break below 10 cents. As far as a psychological number too, you don't want to break below where you are right now and close below it. So Just kind of keep that in mind. You're right on the edge. And if you fall off the edge, you're probably going down to 7 cents, which would be a loss of around 25%. So you want to risk 25% at this moment right now? Or do you want to wait for some confirmation, wait for the neckline to break, okay? That's what I would do personally, but it's just my opinion, all right?
Nice!
Cool. So that's Zilliqa. Let's take a look at Link here. You know what? No. I don't want to take a look at Link. Let's take a look at Litecoin. All right, since we just talked about it, just compared it, right? Not much to say. I just went over it there. But, yeah, Litecoin above $239.08, which was the neckline back from August 30th. So that's exactly what you want to do, right? You've broken above it. You're holding above it on the daily, but if you move it over to, or I'm sorry, on the weekly, but move it over to the daily, right? It's coming back to what you would want to test, right? And hold and continue. A little bit overbought on the RSI, has come back down right to around 70, so it's not too overbought. Yeah, dude, gotcha. And then I'll take a look, after this, I'll take a look at TOST. But, yeah, above the neckline is good, man. And you're also above this peak back here from February 20th. So Litecoin is looking pretty good. So I want to go ahead also throw a line over there. All right, certainly a level of what was once resistance, right? So hang out above there and it'll be okay. If you fall below it, then, I mean, we're talking something else. We're talking down here around 190 bucks. Maybe some support here back from April 24th at about 207. Also has this peak here from March 13th. So the way you always want to do this, man, never fail. Well, throw it here. Line up the Fibonacci levels with historical support. So this valley here from March 26 lines up perfectly with the 786. Okay. This consolidation point lines up perfectly with the 618. Okay. All right. Those are areas that we could expect to hold as support, but anything above this point here, 247, 238, is good for Litecoin. All right.
Are you guys having a killer time?
And if we want to get an idea here, right, because we're starting to see it maybe go off, there's no bearish divergence on it or anything like that. So move it to the 4-hour. Look, I mean, you just potentially have hidden bullish divergence going on at major levels of historical support. Okay, we've got lower low going on here on the MACD. Don't have it on the RSI. Only on the MACD, really. But we could go ahead, throw a Fibonacci low to high, around a 50% retrace at this historical support, looking left. So, I mean, this is an area of pretty strong support, right? And it's starting to show some hidden bullish divergence on the MACD on the 4-hour scale. So that just strengthens the argument that the daily will hold that neckline, will hold at that level of support at 247, which is really where you want to start seeing this thing pivot to confirm it as support. Because that's when you could, once traders get the confirmation there, is when you could see it start to take off again. And if we're going to measure the move that this could have from its cup with handle pattern, the way you would do that is essentially just take the bottom of the structure. So, I mean, I'll go off the body just to be a little bit conservative here, just because those wicks are a little bit janky. But ultimately, throw it up to like the neckline here. Just copy and paste it on the neckline itself, right? Measured move. Gets it up pretty much perfectly to the prior all-time high. So at about 385. 390, and then from there, if it were to break, I'd say $500 would be the next target. Puts you right at the 1272 Fibonacci extension, and then from there, I'd say about $600. That's at the 1618. Okay, but this is how you would do the measured move of a structure, right? Of a bullish structure. Take it from the bottom, its base, to the neckline, and then just copy it, put it on top of the neckline. That's where you could expect to see Litecoin go if it can hold this level, as long as it confirms above it and holds. Okay, but it seems to be doing that. 4 hours strengthening the argument for the daily to hold. Could just start to see positive momentum building again before we're into those prices. But as always, we want to monitor it to keep an eye on it. Okay. So what do we want to look at here? TOST. Toast. This is the payment processor, right? Huh. Well, there's not much data here. They went public, I guess, back in September of this year, so they must have had an IPO recently, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I mean, nothing. There's just not much data to look at for Toast here. Yeah, no. I mean, even if we move it to the 4 hour, really not much data to go off of. No hidden bullish divergence or anything, right? Just higher levels of negative momentum making a lower low. Yeah, there's nothing about Toast that would make me want to buy it right now. You're honestly painting hidden bearish divergence. Notice this green. Notice the levels of positive momentum. So when you have a higher high in momentum, as far as the green is concerned, look at this, you have a higher high, right? But price is getting nowhere near the high that you had back here from this amount of momentum. So you have more buying going on, but it's not getting close to the prior high. That's what's called hidden bearish divergence, right? If you're making a higher low with lower levels of negative momentum, and that's hidden bullish, then a lower high with higher levels of positive momentum is bearish. Hidden bearish divergence, continuation to the downside. And you have no support looking left. You're hanging on by a thread to this thing back here from October 22nd, really at 48.48. So you fall below $48, dude. I mean, you are below it too. So I guess locally on the 1 hour, you're looking at 46.62. But man, if you really start showing hidden bearish divergence here and you sell off, you probably will. I mean, God help you, man. I don't even know. You could Fibonacci, I guess, to try and find where it might catch some support. But while you're looking at things that are like in price discovery and all-time highs, Bitcoin to the moon. Yeah, dude. Joe Herrick, what's up, man? Welcome.
My man.
Yeah, man. We covered it a little bit earlier in the stream or whatever, but I'll get back to it. Take a look at it. Just looking at Toast. Ugh. I forgot about the bubble in the boot, dude. Got beer shotting in my eye. Anywho, Guinness in my eye. I guess I'm a true Irishman at this point. But yeah, man, you're at all-time lows, showing bearish divergence. You might get some support at like the 1272, the 1414, but there's just nothing to the left, right? There's not enough data to show where you might stop. Okay, you might just go straight to hell. So I wouldn't buy Toast right now. I wouldn't buy Toast for a while, probably. Wait to see what it does here. Okay, starting to shift back towards the upside as far as momentum is concerned, but definitely not an edge on it. It could just continue selling off. I mean, the 4 hour looks even way worse. So, yeah, man. Toast, gross. Not interested. Move along. All right, find bread or baguette, maybe hamburger bun. No time for this toast, right? No, there's no butter on this toast. This is just a plain stale piece of toast. All right, move it over. Let's take a look at Avalanche. We've been monitoring this one. Has seemingly broken a little local trend line here, all right? But now it's catching support from this point. Yurt. Yeah, man. Don't need to be dealing with toast right now. There's no reason. There are so many other assets out there that you could be looking at that looks just much better. All right? Don't tie yourself down to any one given asset. At least when it comes to swing trading, technical analysis, if you know something fundamentally, yeah, dude, burnt toast, exactly. And who wants burnt toast? You got to freeze your bread sometime. Every time we buy bread here, dude, it gets mold on it in like 3 days. So we have concluded, at least for certain types, that we're going to start chucking them in the freezer. I'd rather have freezer burnt bread than moldy bread. Am I right? So yeah, man. Avalanche. What did we just say? Broke that little trend line. Okay, starting to get support back here. 4 hour actually showing hidden bullish divergence as long as you can pivot here, start to move back up, right? You're above this point, 73.38 back here from early November. A little bit more local. And if we zoom out here and really look at the overall trend, I mean, it's okay. You're in the middle. Little bit of a rising wedge maybe. But above these peaks back here from September 23rd, September 19th, really just kind of the middle of September. And then the peak here from more recently November. You're just hanging on to it, man. It's fine. Nothing technically damaging, no bearish divergence. No bearish divergence on the daily. It's not showing any signs of reversal at this level. Could just come back down, hold these levels of support September 22nd. And then, of course, you have the trend line where if it breaks $80.33, you head down to $73.77 before running back up, right? That might actually be a pretty decent buy area. So, again, same thing. Nothing technically damaging. Lulled at burnt toast. Yeah. It's pretty funny. You know, dude, I don't think I've actually, I don't think Keith has ever gotten a spin.
Test your luck.
Let's do spins real quick here. So, Keith, you go first. I know you might be driving right now, so if you get something that you don't like, don't freak out. Don't veer off the road or get out of your car and smash some dude's taillight or something. I don't know. It's just a wheel, man. It doesn't really mean anything except that it means everything. All right, spin it, dude. Wow, there you go, man. No road rage for you there. Congratulations. And if you're not looking at the screen, you just got Hades, God of the Underworld. So congratulations on becoming God of the Underworld, God of the Dead, God of the Damned Souls, the soulless farrier of the blah, blah. Nice, dude. I mean, first spin, got a god dang, man. I'm pretty sure Nick spun it like 15 times, and I think he got Peasant 14 in a row. Which means Taylor has to get one too. You're going to burn the condo down. I mean, that's a little extreme. But, God, I hope you don't get Peasant now. I don't want to have to fight you. Oh my God, so gross. I guess the condo has to burn. Dang. All right, well, I better hurry up here before this place is set ablaze. Keith, you got Hades, bro. You are a god, officially. Your first spin, and you got the God of the Underworld, who happens to be my favorite of the Greek mythology. And then Tay got a Peasant, dude. So, I mean, dang. And then she threatened to burn down the condo. I don't know if I should report that to the police, but what am I going to say? Yeah, hello, officer. I was live streaming technical analysis, and I spun a wheel of mythical gods, and it landed on a peasant, and then I did this sound. And then she started creating a fire. I need you to get over here and take her out. We're like, dude, are you okay? We're gonna come arrest you now because we're pretty sure you're on drugs. Yeah, there you go. Burnt toast, burnt home. Theme of the stream is things that are burnt. Name something else that's burnt. What else is burnt? Name something that's good that's burnt. Can you do that? What about souffle? Souffle is good burnt, right? That's the thing where they take the torch and they like torch the top of it or whatever, right? Am I getting that right? Am I cultured enough to have gotten that right?
Right.
Burnt ends. There we go. Nice. That's like pork, right? If I'm not mistaken. Toasty. Toasty. Yeah. That's not burnt. It's crisp. Are you talking about the souffle, or are you talking about the burnt ends? Because burnt ends, it's literally burnt. The word burnt is in the name, so I'm pretty sure that's correct.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Yeah. What else? Marshmallows? Depending on who you are, right? Ah, dude. You literally, look at us. We're right here. Even miles away, that brainstem, that psychic channel, locked in. Yeah, man, marshmallows are not bad. What else? What else? Honestly, I can't really think of anything else. Nope. Barbecue dish. Yeah. I know some kind of meat. I just don't know if it's pork or if it's like beef or whatever it is. But anyway, avalanche, man. I'll tell you what's not burnt. Avalanche. AVAX, not vaccines. AVAX. And I don't know if I can even say that word on YouTube nowadays without the overlords striking me down. Or I've seen, people are very freaked out about using that word, which is bizarre. But anywho, yeah, man, avalanche. No divergence, no signs of exhaustion, above all major levels of support, looking good, man. All right, 4 hours showing some continuation signals, so you'll probably head up to this trend line before, who knows, we'll check it out then. But looking fine, most likely heading up to $100. Don't see why not. Top of the trend line, if we move it out into the future, puts you up at around like 150. I could definitely see that happening. Yeah, Avalanche has just been really good lately. This was a trade setup. Okay, and if you don't believe me, you can go to hell. Not really, but let me find it and let's take a look, right? All right, Avalanche trade setup. It was at $67.16. Had the 6.18 retrace of the ABCD bearish pattern. All right. And bop, came right up to the pattern completion zone of D, which was the 1272. It can be either the 1272 or the 1618, but got up to the 1272, took a third of the profit, right? That was the first target. Second target, the 1618, puts you right about $98. I'd say 100. That would be the second target. And then the third target, the 2618, $125, something like that. But yeah, we identified this October 25th. Was showing, remember we had that morning doji star on the weekly, bullish divergence showing here on the daily. Just made sense, made a lot of sense that this thing would continue up, and it did. All right, so yeah, avalanche, and now hopefully treating these prior levels that we were looking at as supports before moving up again. Cool. Avalanche, I have no clue what Avalanche actually does. I just know that they have been an up-and-coming coin lately. And I mean, really, I forget where they are on the like market cap list, but I mean, since July of this year, I mean, it's up 821%. So, yeah.
That's not good enough.
What you doing, Tear?
What are you doing, Tear? But yeah, even the weekly, right? Building positive momentum again. Looks fine. Yeah. It is, yep. It is, in fact, on Coinbase. Yep. All right. So, yeah. Avalanche looking fine. Middle of this little pattern, but all support below it. Cool. Cha-ching. It's true, dude.
Money.
Let's take a look at Cardano, though, right? This one's just been a dud compared to a lot of other stuff. I mean, really, since early September, September 7th. Just sold off, and it's just been in this channel. I mean, it's been in this channel since September 20th. Just in the middle of it, up, down, up, you know, sideways for a while now. And we're just waiting to see when it finally breaks $2.38, $2.48 before getting back up to, you know, the all-time high. Really, that's the main level of resistance that this thing has seen. Yeah, dude, you like that? Yeah, man, anytime we're making money, he comes in.
Money.
Can't you see we're closed? Yeah, we'll take a look at Solana. Sure. But yeah, Cardano broke out of this this supply line. It was cool. Had a breakout, went straight up, and then bonk. $2.38, rejected off like a joke again, doing the same exact thing. But now it's coming down and testing that, you know, that supply line, I guess. Really, it's just back into the middle of this range. But you could see the supply line hold as a level of support before running again. You would want to see that. No bearish divergence on the daily, so that's good. Hidden bullish divergence, if you start to pivot here, will be showing on the 4-hour. So that could give you your continuation back up to test this once again, this $2.38. And at that point, get above the 200-day moving average. At that point, I would expect you to break through. I mean, really, you've tested this thing so many times. You had a real discernible swing here to test it. If you get back up to those levels, that's to me, that's got to be a signal that, I mean, and it's also Cardano, but it's got to be a signal that's got enough strength and demand to get to that level again, that at that point, they would just relent. The bears would surrender and wave the flag, and it would break through. And again, really, you need to get it through this entire zone because you got this peak back here from May 16th. But yeah, you break through that. I mean, you're going straight to $3, $3.1. Okay. And hopefully at that point, if it breaks, I mean, you might do something like this, right? Come down, hold that as support before coming, and then you know what I mean? Like what everything else is doing right now. Cardano's just asleep at the wheel for some reason. Somebody call up Charles and tell him to tighten it up. Ooh, it's a good Guinness. But yeah, man, came right up to 238 and just rejected. All right, so that's Cardano. But yeah, that hidden bullish divergence looks promising. Get it back up to 238, break through, $3 all-time high. You know the drill. So yeah, Solana. Let's take a look at Solana for you, man. Let's take a look at it on. This is one that I do believe you can get on Coinbase, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. All right, let's take a look at Solana. Move it over to the daily. Okay, you are above this major peak back here from September 9th. Also acted as a point of resistance October 25th. All right, also confirmed it as support recently, November 10th, came down, touched it before coming back up. Right now, you're approaching it now. Negative momentum is still building. So you might come down and test that again. Now, if you fall below that, you're heading down to around 178 bucks, which at that point would be a fall of around 25%, right? It's another kind of theme. And you'll notice that a lot of cryptos look very similar when it comes to that. Okay, the structures are similar, the moves, if it breaks the support down the next level of 25%, right? They move, not all of them, but a lot of them move similarly. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, man, I mean, this point, $216.99 is a point of support for sure. So want to keep regarding that as support. And the 4-hour, let's see if the 4-hour is indicating you're going to get back down there. Little bit of Class A bullish divergence going on the MACD, not on the RSI. You had a bullish engulfing here, which is good. The 3.5 hours until your next 4-hour close. Let's see if the 1 hour maybe. Let's take a look at the 1 hour, see if that helps you out at all. Momentum starting to build again. You've taken out the argument for bearish divergence. Yeah. See, and a lot of assets are starting to show potential for reversing right now, right? And that's because Bitcoin is holding. So when Bitcoin's holding or reversing and going back to the upside, you'll start to see the altcoins follow it. So makes sense, right? And this is a crucial level for you to start doing that. So yeah, I mean, if you can start to pivot here, I'm not seeing too much as far as like divergence or anything in your favor, but I do like that it tested this level and held back here November 10th, and then you haven't touched it since. And you're starting to potentially develop positive momentum again, moving towards the upside. So keep up that energy. You would get back to $260. That was the all-time high. And then from there, I'd say about $286. But, you know, that being said, there's no actionable edge right now. Okay, so really need a little more confirmation, need this thing to start developing and moving back towards the upside. At that point, you would have some daily hidden bullish divergence. So, I mean, I would love for it to sell down to $217, develop even a little more negative momentum before pivoting and really confirming hidden bullish divergence on the daily, which would just signal the continuation to the upside. So some of these things, a lot of them just need 3 or 4 more days to start to develop that. But, you know, nothing technically bad done to Solana, and will most likely, as long as you pivot above $184, will develop hidden bullish divergence and just continue its run, right? It's insane run where it is up since July. We like to measure that's like the low at that point. I mean, up 880% since July, right? Just like Avalanche. So, I mean, look at this trend. It's just a stupid bullish trend. All right, so you can even do that. Zoom way out, just draw this trend line. All right, come down, maybe test it before running back up again. You might be, maybe you're in a kind of wedge type pattern a little bit. Yeah, you're in a little bit of a wedge approaching the apex, but it's okay. Again, if you start showing bearish divergence and stuff towards the apex, then I would be a little bit more concerned, but you're not. So it's really not that big of a deal. Okay, maybe on the weekly, but we need more time for that to develop. All right, cool. So yeah, that is Solana. Get back here. We looked at Cardano. I know Mana, Decentraland, which I know has actually been around for a while.
Come on, man.
But on the daily, I mean, painting kind of a... What we got here? We got a little bit of a flag going. Kind of a bull flag structure on Decentraland. Did the weekly look like? Weekly was just a stupid 271% green candle. Now, Decentraland, I don't know if they were always called Mana. I did a little bit of research earlier today, and they're like a virtual world where you can have a 2D gun and shoot a cowboy or something. I saw on like their homepage. It's an interesting concept, sure, but I mean, this major run up and then kind of just consolidation is not a bearish signal for sure, right? You had your little negative momentum. You're right up in that buyer control zone. 68, not overbought on the daily, overbought on the weekly. So you could see a little more action to the upside. I don't love, take a look at this. I don't really love how much positive momentum you've had here, and it's barely moved. You've barely gotten back above this level here at about $2.95 with all of this positive buying. So to me, that signals weakness. I mean, I definitely wouldn't buy it right now. I'll say that. And that's on the 4 hour. I would not buy it right now. That doesn't mean that it couldn't go stupid and break this trend line and keep going, but yeah, I don't like the 4 hour there. No edge. No edge. Very close to... I mean... Where was it at here? Let me take... I want to see what this move is. Yeah, I mean, I thought it might be a little more dramatic, but 5% off. You know, all of this buying momentum, and it's only up 5% from where it was back here. It's kind of weak. It's kind of weak in my opinion. It's not technically bearish divergence or anything, but keep an eye on it. And it was showing Class A bullish divergence before having this move after November 11th. So kind of recent, but I mean, it was up 23% on the day. So yeah, an overperformer. That's why I wanted to take a look at it. But yeah, definitely no action to be taken on it right now. But kind of cool. 23%, right? Maybe the 12 hour showing something a little bit different. So, I mean, so here's what's interesting about the 12 hour though. The 12 hour is showing hidden bullish divergence. But here's the other thing with that. What was that? How much is this candle up? 22%. I mean, you just went positive on the momentum. You're going to want to break this trend line, all right? If you break above this trend line, I could definitely see it get kind of nuts because you are showing this hidden bullish divergence on the 12 hour, and the daily is just building its positive momentum again. So this thing could definitely run again, but again, it's not an area to buy. You know, you're at all-time highs, and you're potentially moving back towards the upside. You want to get it after it has sold off down at levels that make sense. Okay, but I mean, you could see it go crazy. This is not a strategic area to buy Decentraland, though, all right? So, yeah, I just want to take a quick look at that because it was an overperformer on the day, up 23%. Cool. So, yeah, man. What time is it? 7:37. We've been live about an hour now, I think. Yeah, about an hour and 7 minutes. I know that stocks had a decent day today. I know tech actually, specifically, had a pretty good day. Let's take a look real quick at VRA. VRA actually looking pretty interesting, all right? It's at major levels of historical support. All right, not overbought on the weekly, not showing any kind of bearish divergence, so no exhaustion of sellers on a weekly time scale. Little bit of exhaustion on the daily, but I mean, as long as you pivot here and make a higher low than 5 cents, and you're at major levels back here from April 17th, and this consolidation zone more locally here from October 16th, right? As long as you could pivot at that major level of support, which I don't know why you wouldn't, makes sense that you would, you'll develop hidden bullish divergence, which would just show a continuation again to the upside, right? So I don't think that VRA is done by any means. And if we go ahead and throw a Fibonacci level on it, back to the all-time high, which is about 8.5 cents. That's a move of about 40%. And the stop loss is super easy. So let's go ahead. I haven't done one of those on this stream yet. Let's go ahead and do that, right? So if you were to get in on VRA right now, stop loss would be right here, right below this little green box, right? So that's about a 12% risk. But the next move will be to the all-time high. Puts you up at about 35%. A little bit more than that, about 40%, right? So your odds, look at that, 3.29 to 1. This is a trade that I would, so let me say this. This is a trade that I would feel comfortable taking, and it literally just did it like I was, like it knew what I was going to say. The red is starting to shift, right? So I need more confirmation that the shift is happening, that it is starting to actually pivot back towards the upside, more confirmation. So I would probably get in more like around 6.6 cents. And depending on where it goes, if it gets over this peak here from like October 11th, then you can move your stop up at that point. But I would want a little more confirmation of this to confirm the hidden bullish divergence. But again, anything above 5.1 cents and you'll have it. So looks promising, but again, like most things, needs a couple days, 2-3 days to let it develop. Okay. But yeah, that was be all right. And you know, whoever in here, I appreciate you being here. Thank you. That's pretty much it all I had to talk about here. I know it's Friday night. I want to go ahead and enjoy my Friday night. I hope you enjoy yours as well. If you have any plans for it, might take the lady out, get some half-price apps at Applebee's. I don't know. Avoid the dollar drinks as always. Oh, thank you. Oh, your manners, the politeness. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Cool. All right, guys.
Okay.
That's pretty much going to do it. Yeah, always so mannerly. All right, cool, guys. Yeah.
Are you not entertained?
Appreciate you being here. As always, the Discord. File later, dude. Discord, Instagram, Twitter. Go follow them. Jump in the Discord. We got a little group in there. Anything you want me to take a look at, man, just pop it in. I'll be happy to just do an analysis on it in there as well. When I come on here, it's more so just stuff that I'm looking at throughout the day. And then whoever's in here, if you want me to, you know, when I throw stuff out, that's when I'll take a look at it. But, you know, I'm in that thing all the time. I can do the analysis from my phone and stuff. So you just jump in there, say, hey, you know, what do you think about this? And I'll look at it. We'll do a little analysis, and we'll just joke around and have a good time. All right? That's where I would also be put, because I'm trying to figure out how to get people to do that. So hit it. Hit the subscribe button. And then go ahead and join the social media, all that kind of stuff. Cool. All right. Did the YouTube stuff. Yeah, man. As always, keep it technical. Enjoy your Friday night. I will be back on Monday. All right, peace.